The 1987 film Wicked City is a sci-fi action horror. It can easily fall into the neo-noir category, as it's modern enough with its cityscape and premise while holding on to that vintage noir style. It's based on Hideyuki Kikuchi's novel of the same name and was produced by Video Art and Madhouse, with Madhouse being known for anime like Death Note and Hunter x Hunter. Wicked City introduces us to a world of humans and demons, where the modern tries to coexist with the supernatural. There is a rift between the two, but the rift must come to an end. To reach this end, we're introduced to a rich world and a story that basically takes place across a little more than an entire day. In this video, we'll discuss the film in detail, going through its lore and events. Before getting into the content, we'd like to make a very small request to our viewers. Please subscribe to our channel, like and comment on our videos, and press the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content. We'd be grateful to you, and we hope to bring you the best nerdy content in the future, so without further ado, let's get right into it. World building: the coexistence of two dimensions. The story of Wicked City presents to us two worlds that coexist within different dimensions. One is the one we know and live in as humans, with the film taking place in a stereotypical depiction of 1980s Tokyo. The other is an alternate dimension known as the Black World, which is populated by demons, but not many humans know of this. The two worlds have been at war against each other since their inception, leading to a peace treaty over the past couple of centuries, which ensures harmony between the two worlds. Every 500 years, the treaty must be renewed. Both worlds are protected by a secret organization known as the Blackguard, containing agents from both dimensions. They must safeguard their worlds specifically from a radicalized faction of demons from the Black World who are dead set against any kind of cooperation between humans and demons and believe demon kind to be superior. Wicked City takes place in a period where the treaty needs to be renewed again for the next 500 years, while the radical demon faction plans to do everything in their power to stop that from happening. As a result, the protagonist, a human known as Renzaburo Taki, who is a secret agent in the Blackguard, must work with a demon known as Makie, who is also part of the squad, to ensure the re-signing for continued peace between the two worlds. The demons are shape-shifting beings, with each of them boasting different forms if and when necessary. They can assume the form of humans, shoot visceral tentacles to take down their opponents among other similar body modification abilities, and the more powerful ones can even regenerate. Mostly, they're capable of using psychic powers and can break or lock the space barrier between both dimensions. With the humans seemingly operating as your day-to-day people without supernatural powers, it's implied that some people can use psychic abilities to fight and create spiritual barriers to keep demons at bay. Important characters you need to know. While we're introduced to several characters during the film, three are of utmost importance. First, we have the main character, Taki. By day, he's a salaryman working for an electronics company located in Shibuya and Tokyo. He's notorious for his womanizing lifestyle and believes himself to be romantic. Beneath this, he is a secret agent in the Blackguard who has been fighting demons for a hot minute for the continued protection of his world. Next up, we have Makie, a shape-shifting demon woman from the Black World whose public profession is that of a model. And finally, we have Giuseppe Maillard, a dignitary and a demon emissary from the human world who is a famous medium. He's a powerful man both in status and ability and is highly important for the peace treaty renewal. Both Taki and Makie must protect him as they are tasked with keeping him alive and safe from the Black World radicals until the treaty is renewed. Plot breakdown. The movie begins with an ominous intro as it displays the skyline of Tokyo. We're introduced to the world of humans, one made of concrete and wrapped with technology. We're told of humans ignoring what cannot be explained or deciphered and instead clinging on to the small pleasures, all while a dark world exists beyond time and space, which we now know of as the Black World. The scene shifts to the protagonist, Renzaburo Taki, who is at a bar and in conversation with his bartender. He's been visiting the bar for the past 3 months and had taken a liking towards a woman named Kaneko, but she was a tough nut to crack and had her guard up at all times until recently. She had finally invited Taki to go home with her to her apartment, and the man was obviously overjoyed. We see Kaneko freshening up in the woman's restroom, applying her lipstick while boasting slender fingers with sharp red nails. As she heads back to Taki, there's a shot of another woman's hand as she lies on the floor, her nails the same as those of the woman's. When Taki and Kaneko reach the former's building, they make out while in the elevator. Inside his apartment, Taki notices Kaneko undressing and subsequently getting on her knees to pleasure him. This comes as a surprise, and we see a glimpse of foreshadowing when Taki tells himself that the woman has a devil inside of her, as she is completely different from how she was at the bar. He's not aware of her truth and is speaking only in terms of Kaneko's real personality, which we have been told was quite guarded. Either way, the duo get into it, and when all is said and done, Taki climaxes while on top of her and lies down on her chest. Suddenly, the girl's eyes go white and her limbs lengthen to lock Taki in place as she proves herself to be a spider-like doppelganger and, quite obviously, a demon from the Black World. The truth about her is that she's a member of the Black World Radicals and was here to collect Taki's semen for reasons we'll reveal with the progression of the plot. Anyways, her organ opens up and tries to bite his thing off after collecting his sperm sample, but Taki is a member of the Blackguard, so he knows how to deal with a Black World demon, and he manages to save himself, but the Spider-Woman demon escapes. The next day, Taki goes back to his salaryman job where his boss is also a secret agent like him. Due to the upcoming peace treaty renewal, he assigns Taki the job of protecting Giuseppe Maillard with a new partner, a beautiful female demon from the Black World who we have already introduced as Makie. He now has to go to Narita Airport to meet with her, but of course he faces obstacles on the way as he's intercepted by two radicals in the airport runway. Naturally, a fight breaks out amidst running airplanes, and Taki only has his special demon-killing gun against literal supernatural beings with supernatural physiologies. As he gets restrained by the tentacle-like projections of one of the demons, Makie makes her entry as she uses her ability to save Taki. She uses her nails to generate slashes that cut off the tentacles and then splits the demon in half. Now that they've met, it's time to get to the job of meeting and protecting Giuseppe Maillard. They wait for the arrival of Giuseppe's train, but watch as it explodes. However, Giuseppe lives, which lets us know that this is no ordinary 200-year-old, as perverted as he may be. Taki, Makie, and Giuseppe then take shelter in a Hibiya hotel, which is protected using spiritual barriers against the Black World radicals. Giuseppe proves to be a raging pervert who is desperate to visit brothels and have his go with Makie, while Taki and the hotelier play a game of chess. We learn during their conversation that Taki is unsure of his responsibilities as an agent, and we see that he doesn't value it as much as he should. The hotelier explains to him that once he figures out what it is that he has to protect, he will come to know the value of his position. Soon, a radical named Jin, who is revealed to be Makie's ex-boyfriend, launches an assault on the hotel, proving that the spiritual barriers in Hibiya were not good enough even though it was supposedly super protected. After the hotelier and Taki are put out of action by Jin, a feud begins between him and Makie, who wonders why she would betray the demons for what he considers to be lower-class humans. This is followed by Jin sexually assaulting Makie, but during the act, her hair grows out Junji Ito horror style and restrains Jin. He goes for the kill when Taki uses his anti-demon gun, which seems to shoot out a lightning-like beam attack, and kills Jin. Makie tells him that Giuseppe Maillard should be hiding in the toilet, but when Taki heads there to check in on him, he learns that the dignitary has escaped through the window, so of course, they need to track him down. Maillard, being the pervert he is, has gone to Soapland, which is basically an adult-only Japanese bathhouse known for providing sexual services. He's with a naked, lathered woman and is using the best of this opportunity to get his hands and mouth on his location of desire. As he does so, he sucks in something unfamiliar but pays it no heed. The film has an absurd amount of nudity and is almost like softcore hentai with the amount of sexual scenes it has. As Maillard enjoys his time, the woman's body begins to melt and absorb him. She's revealed to be a Black World radical who, as the name suggests, is trying to kill Giuseppe Maillard. But before she can suck him in and all of his life force, Taki and Makie come to the rescue. Makie uses her nails to pin the radical to her position while Taki pulls Maillard out. She's then killed, and the Blackguard try to rush to a hospital that can heal Maillard, as his death could mean the end of peace. However, they are being followed, and the space-time continuum begins to break, with Taki and Makie being trapped in a pocket dimension. They get out of the car, and a coughing Giuseppe spits out a parasite, the one that he had sucked in from the woman at Soapland. Makie tries to kill it, but it is a recurring theme in the film that everything manages to find its way into Makie's body. The parasite gets under her clothes and enters her body, then breaks out of her back and traps her in its clutches, with Makie's clothes being ripped off. Tentacles break out and, well, in true Wicked City fashion, it enters her mouth, mimicking moments a bit too reminiscent of tentacle porn. Taki pulls out his gun, but technically, if he kills the parasite, Makie will die too, since the parasite is inside of her. To get out of this predicament, Makie uses every last bit of her power to break the space-time barrier so that Taki can get out with Maillard. A lightning beam from above kills the parasite, and Taki has to leave Makie for dead, even though he doesn't want to. While on the way, Taki is in shock to have witnessed a demon sacrifice herself for the sake of the peace between humans and demons. Giuseppe Maillard is brought to a clinic which claims to be much more protected than the hotel. While Maillard receives treatment, the space-time barrier breaks again. Demons cannot come through due to the level of spiritual protection, so they use a way to get Taki to come to them. A visual of Makie is projected, and it's revealed that she's alive, but once again is being sexually assaulted, this time by multiple demons. The scene is extremely graphic, as usual, and the demons expect Taki to show up and save her, as the Black Radical's boss claims that he will let everyone have their way with her as punishment since Makie is a traitor. After that, he threatens to torture her. Taki wants to save her, but doing so is against his job orders, as he was told he has to stay with Maillard. In fact, the Radical provokes him to rescue her. Naturally, he chooses to leave the old guy behind for the sake of his former partner, an act that will get him fired from his job. If you think about it, it's like he's fallen in love with her in an hour or two, but he did confess to Spider Kaneko before that he is a romantic. Maillard tries to stop her, claiming that Makie is not more important than protecting him and that she deserves to get assaulted. That provokes Taki even more to rescue her. Taki enters the building where the demons are gang assaulting Makie and meets with the boss of the Black World Radicals and possibly his right-hand woman. They are keen on knowing if he has slept with her yet, which is a bit strange. The female demon then begins to seduce Taki using her powers. All of a sudden, she's naked, and her body is just a giant female sex organ that's trying to suck in Taki. Ultimately, he's able to resist it and pulls out his anti-demon gun. He kills the female demon and the ones assaulting Makie, and then lands a powerful punch on the boss, cracking his skull. But that's not enough, as the remains of the other demons Taki had just killed begin to gather and form around the boss, making him stronger. The hardened body of the demon is immune to Taki's bullets. He projects a blade from his elbow, which impales Taki's torso. Right then, a miracle strikes as a lightning bolt comes down from above to free Makie. This lightning is the same as the one that killed the tentacled creature. The boss jumps in front of Taki, who shoots into his mouth. As the mouth was the hardened radical's only weakness, he is finally killed. Makie comes to help Taki and uses her psychic powers to heal his injury. It's evident that the two are in love with each other, which is too quick to be realistic, but then again, this is a story about demons. They leave the place and reunite with Maillard, who chides them for acting against orders. The two are subsequently fired from their positions. Meanwhile, the radical boss proves to still be alive, although just barely. As his remains regenerate, the Spider-Woman impersonating Kaneko from the bar comes in. The boss orders her to kill them, this time for sure and without fail. The Spider-Woman claims that the test of his body fluid analysis is out, basically referring to the sperm sample she had collected. The results seemingly confirm that he has a specific type of DNA, which is the sole reason why he must be killed. At this point, it's clear that the demons were more interested in taking down Taki and Makie from the get-go than they were in attacking Giuseppe. Taki and Makie are in the car, and you can say that they're now together. Taki has finally found purpose and a reason to protect someone. He's finally found value in his job as a blackguard, a job he had just been fired from. Giuseppe is frolicking in the backseat, even though he should not be here since Taki and Makie are fired. As they drive into a tunnel, the car gets jammed with webs shot out by the Spider-Woman demon. The car gets overturned and Taki and Makie jump out. They are restrained with the webs while the Spider-Woman slashes at them with her shiv-like limbs. Before they can be killed, however, the same lightning beam comes down again and takes out the demon. She is absolutely unaware of what is killing her as she writhes, but ultimately, she too is killed. Soon after, Taki and Makie are seen descending down in what looks like a different realm or state of consciousness. They find themselves in a spot where they make love to each other, and this scene is very different in nature than the prior sexual scenes, as the film makes it evident that this act is one born out of love. As the two climax, Makie tears up, claiming that she never wants to wake up if this is a dream, which is unnatural because demons don't cry, but she does nonetheless. It's revealed that they made love in a church. Suddenly, tentacles break through the statue of Mother Mary, and Giuseppe comes in to deal with the tentacles. He probes Taki and Makie to head to the peace conference to sign the treaty, which amazes them as Taki claims that it's supposed to be Giuseppe's job. In a plot twist, it's revealed that it had been Giuseppe's job to protect the duo and not the other way around. Taki and Makie were products of generations of genetic alteration. Humans could sleep with demons, but they couldn't mate. But thousands of years of attempts to make this happen led to Taki and Makie inheriting the trait that would allow a human to reproduce with a demon, creating mixed species offspring whose existence would be essential for permanent peace between the two worlds. Long story short, That was why there was always a convenient lightning strike that saved Makie. That was why Taki was asked by the radical boss Shadow if he had slept with Makie. That is why the Spider-Woman had analyzed his sperm sample and confirmed that he had the DNA to mate with a demon who had the same. That is why the radicals were more interested in killing Taki and Makie over Giuseppe, and why Giuseppe staged events such as provoking Taki against saving Makie, firing them, and then healing them while giving them the window to make love. His whole MO throughout everything was to ensure that they'd fall in love and Makie would conceive a child, which is proven by her tearing up as she had gotten impregnated with what would be a half-demon, half-human child. As the duo are ordered to head out, Giuseppe fights the tentacles, which are basically from the regenerated radical boss Shadow. He projects his shadow that begins to suck in both Giuseppe and Taki. The latter manages to shoot his arm off with his gun, while a drowning Giuseppe somehow draws his arm out of the shadow and grabs the demon's leg. The fight reaches its climax as Giuseppe begins to use his lightning strikes. The boss's head gets impaled on a cross and Giuseppe blows him into the sky with his strike. He's yet to die though and tries to regenerate but takes up a grotesque form. Giuseppe gears up thinking that he has to sacrifice himself to win the fight, but Makie comes to the rescue bearing a new set of powers. She attacks him with her signature nail attack but can also teleport this time. Her aura makes it evident that she is way stronger than she was and way stronger than the radical boss. Giuseppe acknowledges this as the result of her conceiving a baby with Taki. Due to being pregnant with a mixed offspring, she now has the power possessed by both worlds. She slices him down, and the boss is finally taken out. Taki and Makie now have a purpose as they are about to have a child who's the hope for peace between their worlds. They head out to sign the treaty with their bond being essential for everlasting peace between the two worlds. They attend the ceremony, and following the renewal of the peace treaty, Taki continues to serve in the Blackguard to protect the woman he loves and his unborn child, while the latter is born to create a new future. And with that, the story comes to an end. Marvelous verdict! The film and its story are both products of their time in the sense that something with so much sexual assault used as fan service would never fly today. That being said, Wicked City's strength lies in the fact that it was able to build a cohesive world, have a proper story with a good plot twist and ending, all within a window of 80 minutes, which is pretty impressive. With that thought, today's video comes to an end. What are your thoughts on Wicked City? Did you like it? Did you at least like this video? If so, then share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. We want to hear what you're thinking about this controversial anime. While you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.